Okay, so we will start with earth geometry. Now, these are the topics that I've picked. I picked them because I really want to cement the concepts so that it can become very easy for you to be able to answer in your exam. In other words, these are free marks. I expect that at least you'll be able to get quite a lot of marks in the exam. Okay, so let me see a pen I can use. Okay, let me just use this one. The diagram shows the positions of three towns, A, B, and C, on the Earth's surface. Then they're asking you what is the time difference between this particular point, B, and also this particular point, C. So I want you to notice what is really happening. You will discover that the relationship that is between B and C is in their longitudinal lines. So this is the line which is passing at point B, and then this is also another line, longitudinal line, which is passing on point C. So your longitudinal line for point B is actually 40, right? 40 degrees. Then your longitudinal line for point C is actually 65 degrees. Now, if at all maybe they wanted us to do A and B, we're going to be using latitudes, right? But since they are saying B and C, so we are going to use the longitudinal lines. Now, what are we supposed to do? We are supposed to find the total longitudinal lines of value, and to find the total longitudinal value, eventually we are going to add the two. So we're going to say total longitudinal value. So our total longitudinal value is going to be 65 plus 40. So 65 plus 40, you're going to get 105. Now, whenever you get your degree, it now becomes easy to find your time difference. Okay? So your time difference is going to equal to, you just get the angle which you're going to find. Okay? Your angle which you have found, then you just divide it by 15 always. Okay? So 105, you divide it by 15, you're going to get your 7.0 hours. Is it clear?
Yes.
Earth geometry is actually very simple. Okay? Earth geometry is actually very simple. Now, then they ask you to say a plane flying due south. So you have a plane which is flying due south from A. So you have a plane which is flying from this point to this particular point. And then they are saying that it is flying at a speed of 900 knots. Okay? 900 knots. So, of course, you have a speed of 900 knots. And then, of course, your time is 7 hours. Okay? Which you already calculated. Now they are saying find the difference in latitude between A and B. Okay, you find the difference in latitude between A and B. So the first thing that you're supposed to know, remember, what formula do you use for speed? Speed is equal to what?
Distance over time.
Very good. So you need to find your distance. Okay, you need to find your distance.
Distance.
So how do you find the distance? You cross multiply, you make d the subject. So d is going to equal to s multiplied by t, right?
Mm.
Then of course you're going to get your s, of course, is the distance. Okay, so which is going to
Mm.
be, sorry, your speed rather. D is the distance. You get your 900, you are multiplying with your time, which is 7. Okay, so this is a topic that I used to enjoy. Okay, today we have to be very quick. I'm sure you are practicing on how to calculate without using your calculators and stuff. So you're going to get your 6300. Okay, okay. You're going to get whatever your distance. Now, after you get it, you get this particular distance. What is the next thing that you're supposed to do?
So
Yes.
when you're finding the distance, right?
Uh-huh.
Is it mandatory that it's always in Newton?
It depends with what you've been asked, but
Okay.
use not commas
Okay.
because they are using nots. Yes.
Okay.
Mhm. So now, per a single degree, per a single degree, you always make an assumption that you will be having how many not commas? 60 not commas. So whatever value that you are going to get after you find your distance, whatever distance value you are going to get, just divide it by what? 60. And then you get your your difference in latitude. Okay?
Okay.
So just follow the steps. Difference in latitude is going to equal to 6300 over uh,
Suggestion.
60. What are we getting? 105 degrees. Okay? So this is how you do it. Just multiply this and that, divide by 60. You get your answer.
Okay.
So this is basically how you solve this particular question. We come to another part. This is where you'll be asked to calculate your tolerance. Or they can ask you to calculate your tolerance. They can ask you to find your highest acceptable value, your lowest acceptable value. It's just one and the same, but these are actually very simple. Now I'll show you just how to go about it. They say a machine that loads millimille into, so this is about tolerance. If a machine that loads millimille into a 25 kg bag has a tolerance of, so your tolerance is what? 0.5%. Then they say find the highest acceptable mass of any bag loaded by this machine. So the first thing that you're going to do is this. You are going to get your 0.5. Okay, this, remember, it's a percentage. So you're going to say 0.5 over 100, right? And then you multiply it
Mm.
by 25, which is this 25 kg. So now, how do you do this on the calculator? 0.5 divided by 100. Just get the zeros. Since you already have a 0 here, so it's going to be this 0 on top plus these two zeros. Then you put your point here, and then it becomes 5, right?
Yeah.
Okay? And then you'll be multiplying by 25. So if you multiply this by 25, you're going to get something like 0.125. Now, this value that you have gotten, they are saying your acceptable maximum your acceptable maximum what? Value. Now, here I want to make it clear. Rather than that acceptable maximum value. Maximum means what? Turi apa mulo, turi apa nshi?
Maximum. You are going up, sir.
You're going up. So if you're going up, are you subtracting or you are adding?
You are adding.
So this same value which you calculated, add it to the original. That's the highest acceptable mass. If they said lowest, this same value we could have subtracted from 25. So your highest acceptable mass is going to equal to this same 25 plus 0.125. So you're going to get 25.125 kg. How about if they said your lowest acceptable mass? What were you going to do? Subtract. So it would have been 25 minus 0.125.
Okay.
So this is how you do this particular question. We come to questions involving absolute error, relative error. They don't miss. I want you to these two questions, they don't miss. They've been coming like that. If 12.5 liters of water was poured out of a container containing 20 liters of water, find the relative error of the volume of water that remained in the container. So basically they just want you to find the relative error. So there is a formula that I want you to keep. Relative error is equal to your absolute error over your true measure, okay? Then you're going to multiply by 100. Okay, you're going to multiply by, okay, I'll show you a value which you'll be multiplying on. It depends. I'll show you so that you don't swatila. So now, how do you go about solving this question? I'll show you the steps. If 12.5 liters of water was poured out of a container containing 20 liters of water, find the relative error of the volume of water that remained in the container. So you're going to get this entire total of volume, which was 20 liters. You are going to subtract it from the 12.5. Okay? Subtract it from 12.5. So when you subtract,
7.5.
you're going to get your
7.5.
7.5, right? Now let me ask you a question. This 7.5, how many decimal places does it have?
1.
It only has
1.
one decimal place. So if it has one decimal place, it means your absolute error is going to equal to what? To be 0.1. So the error will be 0.1. How about if it was a full whole number? What was the error going to be? It was going to be 1. Okay?
Wow.
And then if you have something like 7.23, what is the error? You have two decimal places, so it's going to be 0.01.
Okay.
So the number of decimal places will determine your error. So now the values, our error we had was this. Okay, this was the error we had. So it was 7.5, and then we determined the absolute error to be 0.1 because it has one decimal place. This 0.1, do you know what you're going to do? You multiply it by half.
The original.
You multiply it by half.
Okay.
Okay. You will multiply it by half. So you get this same 0.1, then multiply it by half. So when you multiply this by half, or you can multiply, let me just, to make it, because this is paper 1, half is same as 0. What?
0.5.
So when you're multiplying, yes, 0.5. So when you're multiplying, what are you going to get? Just get the zeros, and then 1 multiplied by 5 is 5, then put your point here. So basically this is the absolute error which you're going to
Yeah.
get. Now we can find your relative error. Relative error is going to equal to what's your absolute? 0.5 over what's your true measure?
7.5.
7.5. Now we don't want to leave it in this particular form because it will look dirty. So what do? You want to make it a whole number. You have two decimal places, 1, so 1, 2, 3 decimal places. So we're going to make it a whole number, we multiply by, how many times do we need to shift? 1, 2. So multiply by, let me see, 100, yes. Okay, so we need to move 2 steps, 1, 2 to make a whole number. So multiplying by 100 on top, even down here you multiply by 100. So that your relative error can equal to, here on top it will be a 5, a whole number, over, down here it's going to be what? 750.
7.50.
Okay, from there you can reduce it. What are you going to get? 1 over 150. So what are the steps? You subtract your total volume from your initial. Whatever you get, it was 7.5, you have one decimal place, so you're going to have 0.1. That's 0.1 multiplied by 0.5. Whatever you're going to get becomes your absolute error. Then divide it by the true measure and then multiply by whichever either 100 or 10 or 1000, as long as it's giving you a number. That's the key. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So we have catered for earth geometry. We have catered for absolute errors and relative errors. Now let's do this particular part, which really I want you to, these are free marks, I want you to pay attention and I want you to pay attention to this. In the following diagram, A, B, C, D, and E are points on the circumference of a circle, center O. Angle ADB is equal to, so let me see, we have this angle which is ADB. They're saying that this angle is 18 degrees. Then EAD, EAD is actually 31 degrees. And then they're saying BC is equal to, so BC, this line here, is equal to this particular line. So now they are saying we find EOD. We find EOD. Well, how do we find EOD? Exactly how do we find EOD? Now, EOD is simply this particular angle. E or D. So they want us to find this angle. Now notice that there's a property. This is circle theorem and you're supposed to be using angle properties. And one of the properties is that if at all maybe you have a circle and then there is a triangle which is attached to the circumference, and then from the same base there is an angle which is going at the center, then you expect that this angle is going to be twice the angle at the center. So the angle at the center is twice the angle at the circumference. Now notice this particular angle and this guy here are all coming from these particular points. So if this angle is 31, what is this angle going to be? if this angle is 31, what is this angle going to be? The angle at the center is twice the angle at the circumference. So this angle here, which is at the circumference, you just multiply it by 2.
To be 62.
And then it becomes 62. So you've gotten this angle at the center there. I haven't even solved anything. I just need to look. That's this topic. Clear.
Clear, sir.
Now, we have found this particular angle to be 62. So I can say EOD is equal to 62. Now we want to find B. B saying ADC. They want us to find A, D, then C. Okay? A, D,
And C.
and C. Now, I want you to look at this. We have this particular isosceles triangle. This is an isosceles triangle, right? Now, this isosceles triangle is actually passing at the center, then attaching the circumference. There is a property that we use for every isosceles, for every triangle which is passing, whose base is passing at the center, and whose point is attached to the circumference, then that triangle is going to equal to what? 90 degrees. So this angle here is 90 degrees. Then of course this one is your x, and this one is your x. So we need to find our x values. So now we have you have 90 there, so you can just say 90 plus this one we don't know, the x. Even this x we don't know. But the entire of the triangle should equal to 180. So this x plus this x gives us 2x minus 90. 180 minus 90 is 90. Over 2, over 2. And then you're going to get 45.
Okay.
Now, this is what is going to happen. Your 45 is going to be here, right?
Yeah.
So, this whole angle is what they want us to find. So, we have 18 already here, plus 45. That gives us ADC. Okay, so 18 plus 45.
63.
Okay, we find the last one, EXD. So get everything in circle theory. Get everything. 18 plus 45 was given as 63. EXD. 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 Now, EXD is something that really won't even be that hard. Okay? It won't really be that hard. Let's see what we can do about it. Did we find the angle at the center? Yes, we found it. This angle, what did we say this angle is? We can do something
62.
about it. This was 62, right?
Yeah.
But have you seen that there is a small triangle here? That's the only thing that you just make sure you are good, you know. Just identify the two triangles. Let me draw it. It's there. Here we said
Yeah.
it's 62. Here we said it is 18. We can find this triangle here.
Mm.
So this triangle is x plus 18 plus
That's
62 equal to 180. Is it clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you. So this is going to be x plus 80 equal to 180. Okay. Then of course, this is going to be x is equal to 180 minus 80, where our
100.
x is going to equal to 100. So this angle here is what?
100.
Now they are saying we find E x.
And
So how do you find this one? Remember, you're having a straight line now. This straight line, you have this angle here which are saying it's 100. Now the entire of a straight line is equal to 180. So how do we find this one? We just say 180 minus 100, and then we're going to get 80 degrees. So that this one automatically becomes 80 degrees.
okay. So, sir, on the sequel theorem, there's nothing like Ivama 360.
No, no need. 360 you
It's
can
only,
360 you can get it if you are using, let's say this is a circle, right?
yeah.
If you are using a trapezium,
Oh, yeah.
okay?
Okay.
If you want to find, let's say this one has already been given as 180, you want to find this one. You're using 360. So these things are, beautiful enough for you to be able to solve. I know you will do a very good job in the exam. Okay, so go and try out as many circle theorems as you can. Make sure you're using the properties that are given out. Okay, another topic, variation. So today I just chose topics that I know to say these you're not supposed to fail. Don't fail these ones. In other words, get everything on these topics. Okay, get everything on these particular topics.
Topics.
Make sure you get everything. There is no need, no excuse of failing, sir. The exam was tough. Why was the exam tough? Well, sir, these people they don't want us to make it. Well.
They are jealous of us.
Okay. So now variation. It is given that they've given you x is equal to kc over y to the power 2. They're saying where k is a constant of variation, the table shows some corresponding values of x, and then stroke y and z. Then they're saying use the information given in the table to find the value of k. So how do you find the value of k? To find the value of k, you need to get a set which is complete of everything. So the first set is complete. So let's utilize it. So x is given to be 24, so I'm going to put 24 here. K we don't know. Z is 16. Y is 2. So this is going to be 24 is equal to k 16 over 4. Right? 4 into 4 it's 1. Mommy, is it clear?
Yes, it's clear.
What is 4 into 16? It's 4. So we're going to have 4k is equal to 24 over 4 over 4. So k is equal to 6. Then they say the value of p. So to find the value of p, we are going to use the second set. X is equal to kz over y to the power 2. What is x? That is what we are finding, because this is going to be our p. K, it's 6. We already found it. What is z? Z is 6.
6.
What is y?
3.
3. So this is going to be p is equal to 6 times 6 over, this is going to be what? 9.
9.
Okay. Then you can divide here. 3 into this is 3. 3 into this is what? 2.
9.
3 into this is 1. 3 into this,
2.
2. And your answer gives you 4. So p is 4. Next question, they are saying we calculate what? Q.
Q.
So we are using the last part. X is equal to z over y to the 2. So Q is y. Okay. Q basically is y. So this is going to be k z over q to the power 2. Then x is what? 12. K is 6 because it's a constant, it doesn't change. Z is what? 18. And then this is q to the power 2. So we cross multiply, we are going to get q to the power 2. 12 is equal to 6 and then 18 over 12 over 12. Q power 2 is equal to, what is 6 into 12? It's 2. Here it would be 1. 2 into 18, it's 9. So I'm going to have a 9 here. What is the square root of 9?
3.
What's the square root of 9?
Is it not positive 3, sir? Positive or negative 3?
Positive or negative
Plus
3?
or minus 3.
Very good. So it's going to be plus 3 or minus 3. Okay. So variation here now. So every geometry, variation na sake of theorem, I'm counting that these are your free marks per table. To tolerance tuja, if you go through again in the lesson, you understand what I was doing there. You just repeat the same things,
Sir, before you proceed, I'm asking if you can help me for the first question for K.
K, you're using a full set. Replace in everything. The formula is there. Just find your K there. So, while there is X, we're putting 24. While there is K, that's the one we're finding. Z, we are putting what? 16. Y, we are getting a 2 there.
Okay.
So, this was a 4. 4. Then 4 is 1. 4 is 4. So 4k is equal to 24. Six. And then you get your final answer.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. Any question?
You can proceed.
It's clear.
Okay, thank you. We come to so this transformation I'll teach together with the other topics that I've reserved. They're a bit they need their own
Attention.
explanations. Yeah, attention. So that's going to be, let me see. When are you writing at?
Friday and Monday.
Oh, Friday. So
Mm,
tomorrow I won't teach. I'll teach on Thursday.
okay.
I'll leave you some work.
Okay.
Tomorrow I'm writing a test. Sorry, I'm preparing for a test on Thursday, so I might not be with you.
Okay.
I'll teach in the evening so that we also revise some to my topics, and then I prepare you for your exam, which you don't have to disappoint me. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Uh,
We have to write that exam before we go there.
exactly. You guys, you need to make it.
Oh, make it, sir.
You will find me by the hospital in case you faint. I'll inject glucose in you. You will wake up.
I'm telling you something 10 times.
Now, there is a question which they brought on integration. Um, they are saying we find okay. Why? They're saying we find 3x to the 3 plus 4x dx. Now, this is integration. You know the difference between integration and differentiation, right? Integration is the opposite of differentiation, and differentiation is the opposite of integration. Same as I tell you to say, same as I tell you say go to Lusaka, you go. The opposite of going to Lusaka is what? Coming back where you're coming from. Now,
Okay.
um, this is how you are going to be integrating. This part here, if you are integrating, you're going to say 3x, the same power which is on top, add the 1. What were we doing yesterday? We were subtracting there.
Mm.
Now, today we are adding because this is integration. This is the symbol for integration. If it is differentiation, they'll say differentiate. So, when you add the 1 on top, even in the denominator, you do the same. Whatever you do on the top, you also do down. Here there is already power 1, just add the 1, also add the 1 plus 1 here. How about if it was like this? How can you integrate? Same. Even here, you do the same thing because there's a 1 on top. Now, how about this one, which is a constant, which doesn't have anything? What do you do? Just add it. Just add x there. Okay. just add x if it's a constant. So now, what are we going to do here? We're going to have 3x. 3x to the power what? 4. Over 4. Plus, here we're going to have 4x to the power 2 over 2. Then, I can now make it look nice. 3 over 4 x to the power 4 plus this 2 is going to be 1 there. Here is going to be 2. So this is going to be 2x to the power 2. Then you just add a c and then you get your answer correct. Don't forget to put c. Don't forget. Don't forget. The moment mwaibara c means sharp one, I can't even mark you. even if you even if you got somewhere, what's the pass mark? Even if you got 50 something, as long as you forget a c,
I'm 49.
watenga 49, then you forget a c. Anyway, can be different. Okay, so computer.
Yeah, sure.
Computer. So for this particular question, they were saying this I'll be able to explain Fermat rotation. If is there any other question we're supposed to do? Okay, gamma functions. If we do these questions that it means twalashala fena maybe yatatoma questions alashalako. Alashalako ama questions kana explain paper to apunisha. In the answer space below is an incomplete program flowchart to calculate the area A of a triangle with base. So, what is the area of a triangle? Right? This is the area of a triangle. Now, they are saying area of a triangle, which is A, with a base B and height H. Complete the flowchart. This shape, what is it used for? Trapezium. So this one is for input. Okay? So you can start your program. What do you say? You input your base, comma, H. Then you have a rectangle. What do you put in the rectangle? The formula. So the trapezium is for input. The rectangle is for a formula. So now how do you write the formula? Are you going to put equal sign? Does the computer recognize an equal sign? So you say area and it's done.
Now you put a star.
Yeah,
So it's area star.
This is an arrow. To represent your equal sign, okay?
So Sam, on this formula where there is 1 over 2, let's say my exam right? Sometimes get to my end. Can't you put 0.5?
Yes, it's okay.
It's okay.
To be recognized. 0.5. Okay? If they mark you wrong, then there is something wrong with the mark.
Like seriously.
Okay, they should not mark you wrong, come on. No, they shouldn't. Okay, so that's how
Okay.
you that's how it works. Uh, let's see. Okay, so this is our last question. Functions. The functions f and g are defined by f of x is equal to x plus 3 over 2 and g of x is equal to 1 minus 2x. Find f inverse of x. Okay, so they've given you two functions. You know what a function is? Okay, no need. At this level, there's no need to, there's no need for explaining what a function is. No need. G of x is equal to 1 minus
X.
1 minus
2x.
2x. Now, the first question is saying f inverse of x. So, when they say f inverse of x, they are saying where there is f of x here, replace with y, then make x the subject of the formula. So how do you make x the subject? Cross multiply. This becomes x plus 3 over 2. You people, were you watching soccer?
No.
Who has won? You people, you don't watch. You don't watch
I
soccer.
don't watch soccer.
Okay. When you reach at the end, you replace this part here. Let me see. Okay, I don't even know. I've been confused by the soccer. I was supposed to make x the subject. How you people are just watching me talking about soccer.
No, sir. Me, I was going to ask after explaining. That's why I thought maybe you are still explaining.
Okay. So we have x is equal to 2y minus 3. So now we can replace f inverse of x is equal to 2y minus 3. So you've now gotten it correct. Okay. Just make your x the subject and take y on the other end. Now this question is saying g of x, g of g of f being defined at some point x. So this one is simply saying get your function of f of g of x. Then while there is this x, replace with the function of f. Even me, but I don't like watching soccer. Tima Joe Bache. Every day we are studying. Ah. Okay, so from there let's expand. 2 multiplied by
Next one.
2 multiplied by negative 2 multiplied by x is going to be what? Is there
Just
any?
2x.
Let me see. Can't we cancel? Can't we cancel this? Can't we do this? How am I? Let me just expand it. let's just expand it. So we're going to have 2x there, minus
Plus 6.
minus 6, minus 6.
Okay.
Okay.
Over 2.
Then of course this is going to be over 2 over 1. Okay. Then this is going to be, let me say, 2. This into that is 2. 2 multiplied by that is 2 over 1. This is supposed to be 2x minus 6. Okay, from there we're going to have minus 2x minus 4 over 2. Okay. So is it okay? Let me check.
Where
Now
did
this,
you get the 4 term? Minus, where did you get minus 4x in?
I did the multiplication here. Let me see. Oh, I subtracted this 2 minus this 6. But
Okay, okay.
I'm thinking about something here. Let me see if I put 7 there. Let me see. 14 there. Okay. Okay. Oh, I even forgot here. So it's supposed to replace here. When you replace your f inverse here, make sure you replace your xi. Tawasuminisha kubika mu y mu final answer. So this is just the same as what? Can I finish it? You won't get confused.
You can finish up.
This is the same as negative 2x over 2 minus 4 over 2. You're not confused, right?
Mm,
It's just one and the same thing. Trust me. Clear.
whatever answer will come.
Yes. Now, here they are saying the same thing here which they gave you. But this time around they put what? Negative 7 inside. So you already found. You've already found. So just get your negative x minus 2. Then of course it will be minus. What are you putting there? Negative 7. And then you get positive 7 minus 2. And then you get a 5. Clear?
Okay.
That's how you solve these questions. The whole setup is quiet now.